Hello everybody, Texas Man here. I hope that you guys are all having a spectacular day. If you guys would please give this video a thumbs up. If you guys really enjoy it, subscribe if you guys have not already. Also do me the biggest favor of all, hit the bell notification button, select all for all notifications. That way you guys don't miss out on future videos and streams here on the channel. You guys, we're going to be talking John Wick Chapter 4. And if you guys haven't had a chance to watch my reviews of John Wick 1, 2, or 3, I will leave a link to the playlist here at the end of this video for you guys. So, quick summary, I gave John Wick 1 an 8.5 out of 10. I gave the second movie a 9 out of 10, and I gave the third movie, Parabellum, a 9.5. Strangely enough, this is called John Wick Chapter 4. I kind of feel like this should have been called John Wick, the conclusion, because without spoiling anything, this movie is technically the finale to the John Wick storyline. There was supposed to originally, when the first John Wick movie came out, they said that they were planning on doing 5 minimum, and Keanu Reeves at the time when the first movie came out, what was it, 2013, 14, something like that. It's been almost a decade. When the first movie came out, Keanu Reeves said, yeah, I'll just keep making John Wick. If this movie makes good money, which I think it will, I'll just keep making John Wick movies until I die. And unfortunately, 9-10 years later, that has not happened, and I don't think it's going to happen. With this being the conclusion to the John Wick story, I feel that although the John Wick story has concluded, this movie does do an interesting job of introducing some supporting characters and new characters to the John Wick universe. And I feel like we're probably going to get spin-off movies, we'll get spin-off shows and stuff of that nature. But as far as John Wick's character and the John Wick plot and story, this movie wraps it up. Keanu Reeves has flat out said, I'm taking a break from John Wick. If I come back, it'll be a while. There is a post-credit scene. I want to say that at the beginning. There is a post-credit scene at the very end of the credits of this film, teasing something that might happen. To me, it really didn't. A lot of people say, it's teasing the next movie. I'm like, no, what it did is it wrapped up a plot point within the actual film that never got resolved. This movie is rated R, so please keep that in mind. There is a lot of violence. There is some language, but it's mostly R for violence. And this movie is 2 hours and 49 minutes long. It is almost 3 hours long. So I want to stress that you probably should either go to the bathroom before you sit, because this movie is a nonstop thrill ride from start to finish. And 2, don't drink pop, drink an icy. Otherwise, you will have to go to the bathroom. I was able to survive because I had an icy, and I knew this movie was going to be 3 hours long. So let's jump right into it. Like I said, there's not going to be any spoiler talk really involved in this review. If you guys want to talk spoilers, we'll leave that to the comment section. And if you guys are interested, I will do a spoiler-ish live stream or video after this comes out, depending on the views, and if you guys are interested in me doing another video talking about John Wick 4. But I don't think there's really nothing to spoil in this movie except for maybe the ending. And I know this movie's coming out, and this review is going to come out a week or two after the film comes out. It's just because of the fact I have so many videos already pre-planned, so I don't want my videos to be constantly overlooked by other videos. So kind of the downside of me trying to cover so much here on the channel, which is why I'm trying to narrow it down. But anyway, moving back to the review, this movie does a lot more stakes. There's a lot more stakes involved in this compared to the past films. And this film is total chaos. It's high-octane action. There's a high death count. I think this probably has the most deaths compared to the past John Wick movies. The runtime, like I said, is almost 3 hours long, but I think it's well earned. We get a globe-trotting adventure with, New York, Japan, it looks like London for a little bit, and then, of course, the finale takes place in France. And there's just numerous crazy things happening, and we get even more lore, which I thought was kind of interesting considering it's the last movie in the John Wick universe, I was surprised that we got so much lore and more backstory to what was going on. Great camera work. There's a scene towards the middle part of the movie, and it reminded me of like an RTS video game where it's like the camera is hovering above John Wick and it's following him around. It almost looks like a SEAL team training simulation. I love that. That was great. It was something new that we hadn't had in the John Wick franchise yet. So props to the people that work behind the scenes when it comes to the camera work. Great job. Like I said, the ending of this film is probably going to make some people happy and some people sad. There was originally, like I said, supposed to be a fifth film, but I'm not sure how they can do it considering how the fourth film ends. Like I said, no spoilers. It just has a satisfying payoff. There's so much in this movie that does a great job paying off things that the first three films set up, whether that's characters, plots, or motivations. I'd say about 99% of everything that was set up in the past three movies gets tied up in this film. And so if we get another one, I will be extremely shocked because of what happens at the end of this movie. If we get another movie, I feel like it's either going to be some sort of I don't know how to describe it without spoiling it. I don't know how this franchise... No, I can't. No. I can't say anymore. I will spoil things. Things just get paid off. While this film is completely unrealistic, that's the thing about at least the first two, is that they were somewhat realistic and based in reality. The third one started going off the rails a little bit into unbelievability territory. This film is completely whack. Like, John Wick is getting shot at, and I know he has a bulletproof suit, but I'm just like, dude, how many times are you going to constantly fall out of buildings and get hit by cars and fall onto cars and constantly do barrel reels downstairs? And like, he's not immortal, okay? I get he's the Baba Yaga and he's the boogeyman, but dear God, he's human. There comes a point where he cannot physically take anymore. But even though it's unrealistic, I thought this movie was still entertaining from start to finish, and it does have a satisfying, global trotting adventure trying to take out the High Table and trying to take out the Mariotti that's hunting him down. I think this is probably the best sequel to the original film, and I think it's my favorite movie out of all four John Wick movies currently. There is very little story. Like, the focus is not so much on story, the focus is on action, it's on revenge, it's on comedy, and it's on focusing on the new villain played by Bill Skarsgård, which aka was the actor that played Pennywise in the recent two It movies. And I like the supporting characters like Mr. Nobody and the Japanese second in command of the Continental in Japan. I think she was a really great character, and she kicked ass, but she didn't try to overstep her bounds and make John Wick look like a complete idiot. I think they did a great job balancing that. If you like the first three movies, you're going to like this film for sure. And I think this is probably the best action movie that I've seen in 2023 so far. It is definitely the best movie I've seen of 2023 so far. And it's probably one of the best movies I have seen ever. I know that's coming from me. That's probably a shock. And you guys are like, wow, he's talking so positive. What could the score be? Like I said, there's very little story. It is almost 3 hours long. I feel like there were some parts that could have been trimmed out. This movie was actually supposed to be 4.5 hours long. And I think the reason because of that is because of COVID. There was supposed to be a fifth film, so I feel like the original script was trying to combine 4 and 5 into this originally for the 4.5 hour runtime. And then they're like, you know what? We can't have it 4.5 hours long. No one will go to the theater to watch it. Now, if it was 4.5 hours long and it came out to streaming services like they did with the Zack Snyder Justice League, that would have been different. But I feel like this movie definitely deserves a theatrical release. It is definitely worth seeing on the big screen. If you guys haven't had a chance to watch it, would encourage you guys to go do so. You're going to enjoy this movie. It is worth it. It is definitely worth watching it in theaters. Even though I've like a little bit nitpicked it, I still feel like this is one of the best movies of all time. I'm going to enjoy getting it digitally and on Blu-ray. I have the first 3 on Blu-ray and digitally too, just because I love them so much and I love Keanu Reeves as an actor. And I'm going to give John Wick 4 a 10 out of 10. Even though there's very little story and it is almost 3 hours long and there's probably about 15 to 20 minutes that could have been shaved out, I still really enjoyed this movie. And it doesn't have there's no wokeness, there's no gay stuff, there's no political agenda. It's straight white man going on a revenge spree with gun fu action. And it's fun from start to finish. There's even comedy towards the second half of the film to help break up the action and tension. There's great character moments, great chemistry. It does a great job concluding the John Wick story that we've come to know and love. And it does open the door for possible spin-offs, prequels, and stuff, which I will probably not watch. I'm so bored of prequels and spin-offs that it just really irritates me. So, and I'd rather spend time watching something new and original. So I'm happy that we did get these 4 John Wick movies. I'm going to give this movie, like I said, a 10 out of 10. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you guys agree or disagree with me? And you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys next video or stream. Bye, guys.